Carrying on from the last video, today I want to discuss another technique I developed for lucid dream induction. Well, I use it more for lucid napping rather than full-blown lucid dreaming, but really you can use it for either. The technique's super simple. Have sex, then go to sleep. The first thing I hear some of you saying is, I don't have a partner though. Well, don't worry. To induce this state, you don't necessarily have to engage in penetrative or oral sex. This technique seems to work just as effectively when bringing about climax through other means. The key here is the climax, not how the climax is brought about. But please, if you do choose the partner out, talk it through with them beforehand. Otherwise, he or she might feel used and confused if as soon as you finish up, you doze straight off. Although, depending on your tendencies, they might be used to that already. But either way, talk it through with them beforehand and inform them of your wishes. If your partner's uncomfortable with the proposal, then find a more personal way to climax. Once you've done this, lay down, get comfortable and close your eyes. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure why this helps in facilitating lucidity, but for me, it does. Perhaps it has something to do with release and the relaxation that release induces. Who knows, but either way, after closing my eyes within a minute or two, I usually enter an intense state of reverie. I don't even have to do any lucid affirmations, I just go straight in, effortlessly. At this point I usually wake induce, but if not, I nap induce a few minutes later. Interestingly enough, I have a recurring feeling that hits me every time I enter this nap-like post-orgasm induced state. The feeling being that I am, or more specifically my consciousness is, ancient and non-human. It's a truly bizarre feeling that I won't go into the details of right now, but I will say this. The feeling during these experiences vastly outweighs the actual imagery. In fact, the imagery is usually pretty light and more akin to a hypnagogic-like state rather than full-blown dream immersion. Although there are exceptions to this general rule. I've also entered full-blown lucid dreams with this technique, but that's a lot rarer. More often than not, what's induced is more like lucid meditation rather than lucid dreaming. I've also noticed when coming out of this state half an hour or so later, I usually feel content and fulfilled. Sometimes that feeling even comes close to peaceful euphoria. It can also leave me with a feeling of mild ego death that lingers for an hour or two afterwards. Be warned, ego death can be disturbing for some, but personally for me, I find it quite serene. In regards to the timing of this induction technique, I've had best success in early evening. But there'd be nothing stopping you from trying it just before bed and kick-starting a full-blown sleep cycle with it. You could even tie it in with my previous wee back-to-bed technique. Hell, you could even use it in the morning. I've tried it on all different occasions with varying degrees of success. So please, always mess around with these techniques and find what works best for you. I've also had success inducing this state by lying with or snuggling up to said loved one after the climax. This can be an extremely bonding experience, especially if you're both trying to achieve the same goal of lucid reverie. But again, be warned. Climaxing too often is known to drain creative energy, which has a direct impact on one's ability to achieve lucidity. So keep an eye on this technique, you don't want to overdo it.